Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more of the Cretan Chronicles. We're going to continue where we left off, and we're going to take the slightly more risky track. Hopefully it'll be okay. As you leave Eleusis behind, the way is lined on either side by olive trees, and some distance from the town a track joins the main path to your left. You pause a while in the hope that some traveller will be able to tell you the road to take, but no one comes. Impatiently, you decide to move on. Now, perusing the map that is at our disposal, we are on the road from Eleusis towards Athens. The path on the left could go to Acharnae or Marathon, which did not later change its name to Snickers. I can tell you for a fact that if we take this path to the left, we will rejoin this main road not very far along it, and we might have missed one section which is just turned to the next section, which is the one you'd arrive at if you've gone down the left-hand path. So we'll take this side track. It's a diversion of opportunity. The track soon widens out and runs along the side of a small stream. You stop and quench your thirst. Ahead, in the distance, you sight a town and press on towards it. You are almost there when a man, mounted on a horse, gallops down the road towards you. As he approaches, you shout to him, asking which city this might be. He has time only to utter one word before he passes beyond you. Acharnae! There's a clue here, possibly. Can't think of anything overly heroic, so we will overlook it for now. As you reach a minor crossroads at the start of the town itself, you see a group of men clustering around a low altar. One of them carries a dull iron sickle, another a squealing jet-black puppy. Two of the group hold it down while the officiating priest prepares to strike. The sun casts an elongated shadow, making the three men seem from a distance like strange giants. We have seen the statue of Hecate holding the black puppy dog in one hand and a sacrificial knife in the other. Actually, she had 6 arms and was holding just those two things. Regardless of where we're not going to intervene, because if we do, she won't be happy about it. We'll pass on by. The town of Acharnae is in festival at this time of the year, for the annual chariot races are being held this week. All over the town, men prepare their horses and repair their chariots. You have been walking for some time, and so decide to find an inn to rest for a while. You are directed to a small, low building fringed by trees where many of the competitors are staying. The price for the night is high, but you can just afford it, as we never know how much money we actually have. The excited chattering of the guests is like the buzz of bees greedy for honey, but you can make out some of it. There is in fact to be a race within the hour between the narrow streets of the town. We can go to bed, or go watch the chariot race. Let's do that. Thankfully that you have not spent a miserable night alone in bed, you make your way to the perimeter of the walls, which is the course of the race. As you arrive, the crowd catches sight of the front runners. The red and green team's chariots thunder towards you, jockeying for position as they approach a bend in the wall. Without warning, the green chariot cuts inwards and the red driver is forced to swerve. As he does so, his wheel hits a large stone. His chariot bounces and tips over. He struggles frantically to control it, but in vain it overturns. The driver is dragged along, tangled in the reins for a time before the horse plunges into some spectators. It's a one-horse chariot. Several people are trampled, but at last one of the charioteers not driving in the race brings it under control. The driver is badly injured and a small crowd gathers around him. Just as you reach the spot, you hear him gasp out in pain. He is carried into an inn and there set down on a table. The landlady bustles over to speak to him, but all he is interested in is who would take his place in the red team. He offers the chance to drive his spare chariot to whoever bets on the winner in the next race. 3 young men bet various large sums of money. We can approach him and place a bet on the next race, so that if we win, we can drive him that race after that, or just go watch the races. Now, if we want to place a bet, we need a valuable item. We have our mother's gem, which we cannot afford to lose, and the golden brooch shaped like an ear of corn, which I believe there are multiple opportunities to use it as a transactional item. It might also be a useful item in Book 2 at one point. But perhaps we should be heroic and take the gamble here after all. So, let's go place our wager. If 3 other people are betting, and with us that makes 4, that could mean there are 4 chariots. As you come near, you find to your embarrassment that you have spent most of your money in the room and you cannot match the young nobleman's wagers. You can offer a gift instead, or go watch the races. What kind of gift do we have to offer? Well, some things we don't have and some things that we do. You may offer him any one of these, providing you have it. A corn-eared brooch, a golden cup, your mother's gem, or the jewelled mirror. We will offer the brooch, but I'm making a note. It may not be permanently lost. And we probably don't want to lose it either. However, it's not as if we have a special chariot racing skill. The man looks at your brooch with disdain and says, "Your bet's on blue. It's the only one left." Wait, he's in terrible agony. With disdain and says, "Your bet's on blue. It's the only one left." I wonder if we would get a different colour depending on which of the 4 items we offered up. And if some chariot teams are better than others. The race is handled by you, the player. The blue team is number 1. The red team, number 2. The yellow team, number 3. And the green team, number 4. Roll 2 dice. Each of the numbers rolled, if in the range of 1 to 4, shows that that numbered chariot advances 1 segment of the course. The course is divided into 10 segments. The first to complete 10 segments is the winner. You should keep a track of how many segments a chariot has completed. If a 5 is rolled, no one advances. If a 6 is rolled, everyone advances 1 space. If a double 6 is rolled, roll 1 further die, as there has been a chariot crash. If 1 to 4 is rolled, then that numbered chariot crashes and is out of the race. A 5 is a near miss, with no chariot actually crashing, while 6 means that all chariots in the race crash and the contest is over. Note that if double 1, 2, 3 or 4 is rolled, then that chariot may advance 2 spaces. If there is a tie at the end, the chariots involved continue until one establishes a lead, when it is deemed the winner. Poseidon is not our patron. So this is entirely random. But let's have a little fun anyway. What grid do we have on this map? Hex grid. Okay. Of course, for the Grimscar maps. Yeah. Right. let's go make a quick map. Alright, here we have our race course. Here we have our 4 teams, blue, red, yellow and green behind the starting line. We have our grid. It's 4 squares wide, so they can each have their own lane. Probably not the case. And 10 squares long, so they can try and get to the end. I'd like to repeat that this is completely random. Now, the fact that there are 2 dice increases the chance of a crash. Double 6 for a crash. And the fact that there are 4 teams, in theory, if there is a crash, the idea is that as teams are eliminated from the race, the chance of our chariot crashing increases drastically. But at the beginning of the race, if there's a crash, it might not be our chariot at all. Okay. Let's start the race. The crowd goes wild. Oh, yeah, so I'll just move it for now. Right. We have 2 twos. The red team advances 2 spaces. They're getting a good headway. That's not ideal for us. Let's... Come on. Here we go. A 9. That is a 6 and a 3. So, the yellow team gets a go. And of course, 6 is... Everyone advances a space. Not ideal. But blue and green are lagging behind a little. Oh, good. A 2 and a 1. That red team is really surging ahead. We're just going to have to hope they crash or something. 8. 5 and 3. So yellow advances and 5 is no one advances. Okay. Oh. 6 and a 1. Blue team advances and then everyone. Green is flagging behind somewhat. Gotta hope we overtake those reds. Ah! A 2 and a 1. That cursed red team. 6 is a 2 and a 4. Not ideal at all. Uh-oh. A 1 and a 5. Excellent. So blue advances and nobody else does. Ooh. Okay. Double 5. No one advances at all. For double 5 is roll. Hang on. No, nothing special for a double 5. Okay. 6 comprised of 2 threes. The yellow chariot team starts catching up. Pity those poor greens. They're flagging behind a little. 4 and 5. Green catches up a little. 7 comprised of 3 and 4. Yellow and green. Uh-oh. 8 is a 3 and a 5. The yellow team is surging ahead. And we have a 3 and a 6. Damn that yellow. And everyone. So, yellow wins that time. Okay. So, obviously our chariot did not win the race. 427. But look at this. 447, 427. 20 apart. And 20 is a clue. 427. And there's a clue. Disappointed, you return to the wounded charioteer. He is already trying to teach the young nobleman who won the bet how to drive. He, however, simply takes up the whip and applies it liberally to the horse. It reacts violently and careers off towards you. You manage to bring the animal under control. In the chariot, the nobleman looks pale and decides to forgo the race. You're immediately offered the chance to drive the red chariot. You accept, but we have a clue to go to the same section as if we had won. You ask for your stake and the charioteer returns it. Good luck in the race, he says. And now we get to do the actual horse race itself, which is probably just as difficult. This time, you are driving in the race. The rules are as before, except that you are the new number 2, the red team. The race is now 2 laps of the wall perimeter, 20 points. As before, if your patron is Poseidon, a roll of 5 will advance you 1 space. And if you are in favour with Poseidon, a roll of 5 will advance you 1 space if you expend 1 honour point for it. If you're in disfavour with Poseidon, because Poseidon does have a link with horses, I think, but I can't remember for certain, you do not advance on a roll of a 6, but all the other chariots do. If you are clear how to conduct the race, do so and turn to the end of this paragraph. Otherwise, here is a summary of the rules, which are the same rules as before. So we have no skill to play into this at all. Okay. Except it's first to 20, so we'll lap twice. Just get that all set up. There we go. Let the race begin. 1 and a 5. Blue team gets a good start. 1 and a 4. Blue and green move. 4 and 5. Green moves. 8. 3 and 5. Okay. Yellow moves. Finally, red team's off for starting blocks. Oh, ooh, double 6. We have a collision. A crash, rather. An accident. Number 6. What happens on a 6 crash? All the chariots crash. Well, bugger. That's going to be very dangerous for us, isn't it? Do we die? The lead chariot loses control, smashes into the wall, and careers on into the crowd. The others, unable to stop in time, slam in behind it like waves breaking on a seashore. Wheels and pieces of splintered wood fly in all directions. Spectators screaming stampede everywhere. Several are trampled, others lie dazed and bleeding from the flying fragments. Torches, urns, sticks and cloaks, all are dropped in the panic. Suddenly one of the chariots bursts into flames, ignited by a burning torch. Soon all are ablaze. You clamber unsteadily out of the wreckage as the flames begin to consume your vehicle. You notice that 2 drivers are dead. The yellow charioteer has escaped. Some of the citizens make efforts to free the surviving horses, but they are beaten back by the flames. You stagger away from the chariots of fire, and centuries later some twat's going to make a shit song about it, and it'll be in a film. Which will be virtually fucking nothing to do with the William Blake poem. And they'll run in slow motion for no fucking reason while Vangelis plays really slowly. Again. All the fucking time, and people think it's the most important thing in the world ever, and I haven't even seen it, so there. Fuck you, you dickheads. Right. Have 5 shame points for crashing, and 5 honour points for survival in the face of such danger. So that kind of evens out. We have our first shame points. By the time you reach the inn, the fire has been put out and you're able to stay safely for the night. In the morning, you leave quickly and quietly for Athens to section 474, the one we would have gone to originally if we hadn't come here in the first place. In a way, gaining 5 honour and 5 shame is bad, because the honour is temporary, the shame is permanent. Now, this whole section almost feels like it was written with modern racing cars and racetracks in mind, especially the idea of the chariots bursting into flame when they crash. Shame we couldn't win. There was... Don't need that anymore. There was no skill factor or element to the race at all. It wasn't as if this second race was going to have decisions to make. It was purely all on the dice. Essentially a minigame. The only difference is that the extended length of the track, being 2 laps, increases the chances of the other team's chariots crashing. It also increases the chance of our crashing, but because there's 3 of them and 1 of us, it increases the chances of them crashing. I don't know if one chariot... I don't think one chariot automatically wins if all the others crash. But that'll be the episode thumbnail, won't it? Right, on we go to Athens then. Oh, here we go. The way to Athens is pleasant. The path is well made and not rutted like others upon which you have travelled. Soon you pass into an area of green-clad rolling hills, and beyond this, the outer edge of Athens' cultivated area. In the distance, you can see farmers carrying their allotted portion for distribution to other areas. Your stomach feels light and you are tense with anticipation. Suddenly, you can see the very walls of Athens, your goal for so many days. Your pace quickens and, without speaking to anyone, you pass. You hurry on until the gates of the city are but a few yards away, and now we're going to need to go to the palace and realise that for some reason Medea has become our stepmother. And after the things she's done, the amount of betrayals and nasty stuff she's done, be aware that she can be up to no good and is wanting to grab all power for herself. Think of her a bit like Grimo Wormtongue, of course, for this adventure. We'll have no benefit of the favour of Dionysus to protect us from her bad drink, but the fact that we, the player, will blatantly recognise her name, as we did the first time, and know that she is not to be trusted, unless your name is Jason and you're trying to get the Golden Fleece. And even then, when you get back to Greece with her, she can't be trusted after that, really. Yeah. So I'm going to end the episode here, and then next time we'll be tackling the Amazon threat. And I'm not talking about international book distribution. For now, though, I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you've all enjoyed this one and the crazy race minigame, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'll say goodbye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone. See you all soon.